Thank you, Larry. Well, next we have a story that is going to take us to places that we're probably not expecting to go. And this is by Dana Dickerson. And in this story we're going to have sounds of language, voices, chance encounters, and all kinds of other things. It's Dana.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out, everyone. I'd like to give a little background on this, what I call a psychedelic folktale. It's inspired by a Woody Guthrie song. In the spring of 1941, Woody Guthrie came to the Pacific Northwest and wrote 26 songs in 1 month. Wow. Out of this collection came Pastures of Plenty, a tune based on the murder ballad Pretty Polly, yet lyrically a tribute to the migrant workers of the West. In 1962, Peter Tevis, an American living in Italy, recorded a cover version of Pastures of Plenty. The song was produced by Ennio Morricone, who deconstructed the folk song and rebuilt it into a nearly unrecognizable 2.5-minute epic pop opera. He accentuates the lyric, "We come with the dust and we're gone with the wind," through the use of Italian backup singers exclaiming, "With the wind." I'm sure you're all familiar with that. This is the version which inspired my contribution to the latest edition of Chronicles. I begin with an epigraph from Dashiell Hammett in Red Harvest. "This damn burg's getting me. If I don't get away soon, I'll be going blood simple like the natives." Coyote, the great imitator, the man of 1,000 faces and 1,000 tricks, returns to Turtle Island in the middle of a war. He doesn't recognize the world he's found himself in. There's a bitter feud between trans-dimensional aliens attempting to wipe out humanity's original instructions. Coyote must set things right. Part 1, we come with the dust. The old man arrives by canoe at the mouth of the Nisqually Delta. He ties off at the end of the walkway in the bird refuge. His silhouette is bathed in the orange glow of the setting sun on the shortest day of the year. Birds sing their evening songs. He stops to sniff the air. It's been a long time since he's been on these shores. The salty mudflats recharge old memories of younger days. His stomach growls loudly. He pats his empty belly and begins the long walk to the shoreline. He hums an old tune as he ambles down the boardwalk. The eerie glow of sundown gives way to the soft huckleberry hues of dusk. He stops, looks up between the branches, and notices the evening star and says, "Hello, old friend." He then catches sight of a blur of lights along the highway. He is perplexed, but his empty belly guides him toward the strange lights. The air chills quickly as darkness envelops the sun, yet he trots along, smiling only to himself. He's been blown off course. He thinks, what is this place? He was following salmon, but I've been gone a very long time. What is this strange shore I've washed ashore on? The soil is foreign and the people are sour. He wonders, where have all the people gone? Part 2, and we're gone with the wind. Hillbilly Jack pulls off at the Nisqually exit and stops at the Chevron gas station. He passes the threshold into the fluorescent mini-mart and witnesses an old Indian man arguing with the Pakistani clerk in the chute seed. The wily old man is surrounded by a mess of junk food, cylinders of reconstituted potato chips and high fructose corn syrup snacks with colorful wrappers. He tries to barter with jewelry, blankets, and pelts. The clerk is pissed and ready to call the cops when Hillbilly Jack steps in. The old man comically imitates the clerk, which makes Jack laugh out loud. The clerk's frown deepens. "Hey, you know me." The clerk eyes him suspiciously. "I come in here every day." Jack tries to calm him down. "Don't worry about this." He pulls out a wad of cash. "I'll pay for it." The clerk smiles. Outside, the old man hops in the bed of Jack's truck. He has to coax him into the cab with potato chips. As they drive along the curvy roads, Jack says, "I've never seen you before, old-timer. Where do you live?" The old man smiles and begins to chatter in the chute seat. Hillbilly Jack only learned a few words from his mom before she died. "I guess I'll bring him to the Elders' Lodge and see if anyone recognizes him." The old man breaks his train of thought. What is a hillbilly Jack? "So, you do speak English," Jack says, and then fills him in on the story of his nickname. One lazy day in Tahola, when Jacob Black was 7, he walked to his uncle's house from the convenience store. It was right around the time that the Billy Jack movie was in the drive-ins. He carried a pop can in one hand and a popsicle in the other. It dripped down his arm in the hot summer sunlight. He guzzled his Coke, it dribbled down his chin and onto his white t-shirt. He belched loudly. As he walked, the briny ocean wind stirred the beach powder beneath his feet into a cloud of brown earth, which clung to the sugar on his skin and clothes. His Uncle Melvin took one look at him and asked, "How come you're drinking Coke, Hillbilly Jack?" Jacob grinned through crooked teeth. His uncle drawled, "Did they run out of Pepsi?" Everyone laughed, and the nickname stuck. "Hillbilly Jack," the old man smiles. "Can we talk about trans-dimensional brainworms?" Before he has a chance to respond, the old man begins to rant. Trans-dimensional brainworms are creatures which exist beyond the space-time continuum. It's worth remembering there are other dimensions beyond this reality. They rule through a network of symbionts, hosts which they control with their hive mind. However, their influence is weakest in the outer reaches, such as in the small, forgotten towns of the Pacific Northwest. Human perception of reality is a narrow spectrum. At most, your lives are a bubble of perception in an ocean of knowledge. Everyone carries within them an umbrella of consciousness, which shields them from the storms of time. Your linear selves embedded in a non-linear all. Your binary brains conjure angels and demons. That's your limited perception. The question becomes how to exterminate a trans-dimensional brainworm. Hillbilly Jack listens politely to everything the old man says, waits until he's finished, and asks in the awkward pause which follows, "So how far are you going?" "Look around you, Hillbilly Jack. American soldiers transport arms and munitions to the Middle East. A stand of Oregon Douglas firs are bound for Asia. Salmon are transported by trucks along the highway between dams. And you want to know how long you have to tolerate me before you can be rid of me?" Hillbilly Jack grins sheepishly through crooked teeth. "Pull over here." They're in the middle of the Joint Base Lewis McChord Military Reservation. Before he exits, the old man says, "The answer to my question is silence. The discipline of silence is extreme, yet silence is a weapon. Remember this, Hillbilly Jack. Silence kills the parasite." "You can't go out there," Jack protests as the old man steps out of the truck. "JBLM is military land. They could be playing war games with live ammunition." "You still deny who I am, Hillbilly Jack?" The old man smiles. "Don't worry. Before this, it was Nisqually land. And before that, it was mine." What does that even mean? This whole conversation has been in our minds, Hillbilly Jack. If you listen to my voice, I'm still speaking in the chute seat. The old man disappears in the night to the patter of 4 legs running.